Hey Dumplies, it's Dave decided we need to talk about Lisa and her best friend and what controversy is happening over this. I also wanted to get into HYBE and people believing that HYBE lied. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, grab your dumpling, a tea spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. I think BTS has started to fly over to the US. If you don't know what is going on, let me catch you up real quick. BTS was invited to speak at the White House, and this is exciting because obviously this is a big deal. And it's one thing if Biden just wanted to meet BTS, because who doesn't want to meet BTS? But Biden not only wanted to meet them, but put them in an ambassador position in a way and represent Asians. They are invited to talk about their experiences with Asian hate and be a part of this Stop Asian Hate movement. It's honestly going to take a lot more to stop this hate, but since it's being talked about and in front of people's minds, perhaps it'll be something that is more obvious to people and ultimately lead people into a different mindset about Asians. But this is all more of a side tangent. BTS was supposed to fly out to the US, but Jungkook ended up flying out first, and people were curious why. There ended up being a lot of rumors that Jungkook was flying to LA to meet with Charlie Puth to do a collab. I remember I mentioned that I didn't know where everyone was getting LA. I think it was just because Charlie is normally in LA, and then they just assumed that this is where Jungkook would fly to. The rumors of Charlie and Jungkook collabing was due to the amount of photos and videos being taken, being that Charlie kind of hinted that he wanted to collab. There were videos and stuff of Charlie listening to Jungkook's Stay Alive and all this stuff. So that rumor is believable, but I wasn't sure where everyone was getting LA. Now this became big because all the videos posted about Jungkook and even several news sites thought that Jungkook was going to LA. Turns out Jungkook ended up landing in JFK Airport, which is in New York. And so people were confused and thought that HYBE lied about Jungkook going to LA. And these photos of Jungkook at JFK were allegedly taken by a sasae. Now I don't believe HYBE lied about where Jungkook was going to be because I don't think they ever said Jungkook was going to be in LA. And these rumors are interesting because claiming that someone lied is really bad for their reputation, and specifically if someone took that at face value, like seeing all the headlines say LA and then seeing Jungkook at New York, you are going to think HYBE lied and maybe even carry that with them for years saying, I don't like them because they lied, when that was never the truth. But from what I saw, and I could be wrong, I didn't see an official statement saying LA. Imagine a stalker fan going on the plane from Korea to LA and being like, where's Jungkook? Only to see that Jungkook was in New York. Clearly some fans knew that Jungkook was in New York. There were obviously paparazzis or fans there to take pictures. This to me tells me HYBE didn't lie. They didn't say anything. I also think it's so funny, like if Jungkook was bored and decided to go on the internet on the plane and read some of the news and it read Jungkook flies to LA and he's like, wait, hold up, what flight am I on? Am I on an LA flight? Like, it's the weirdest form of gaslight. Other theories were that Jungkook did land in LA, but it was a connecting flight since I believe they would cross LA first. But who knows what happened. But either way, it seemed LA was not the final destination. Charlie Puth also posted a photo of New York, meaning they're both there. Maybe there's a specific studio they wanted to work with, I don't know. I currently live in New York and it's pretty close to JFK. Probably wouldn't have gone to see him. I would just let him be, but it would be cool to run into them on the street. So for those who think HYBE lied, the truth was basically confirmed and all is well. Please don't jump to so many conclusions, just enjoy the music and enjoy Jungkook being in the US. I'm glad that the boys are working hard, and this type of press of them being in the US is gonna help their career and really push them forward with their music and their comeback. I can already feel that this comeback will be their biggest yet. Of course, being at that level of fame, there are a lot of rumors and theories that occur. One in particular is this very common rumor of Jungkook and Lisa from Blackpink dating, especially since the whole V and Jennie incident and the lack of denying or confirmation from the labels. People do think that this is real, and a lot of people think the two are dating and wonder if other members of the group are dating. And V and Jennie have been rumored for a while, almost as long as Jungkook and Lisa. So you start to see why they're being compared now. Lisa recently had a birthday and there was a lot of controversy just with her birthday on its own. Lisa went back to her hometown to celebrate, and she did this after years of not doing it. And mainly because she has a little bit of freedom now to do what she wants, and she's a big asset to YG, so she's allowed to take some time for herself now. The controversy was over the fact that she accepted gifts for her birthday because YG mentioned that she will no longer accept gifts, only cards and notes. But then apparently people think that by going back home, she was trying to avoid or go around that law in order to accept gifts other than cards. But this doesn't make any sense because, for example, if YG claimed their idols can't date, it doesn't matter if they send their idol to the moon. They still can't date. It's not like it was a Korean law. It was just something that YG said. If she can't accept it in Korea, then she wouldn't be able to accept it back home. And if she did accept it, it was just a one-time acceptance thing just for her birthday. There were so many controversies. One that ended up being kind of a big controversy among the fans was something that her her friend or close friend did a few months prior to the birthday. If you don't know, a lot of fans form fan clubs to raise money. The money can be used to buy out billboards in big cities or help plan an extravagant birthday party. A fan site, which will remain anonymous so as to not send any more hate to them, was creating this fund, and the fan site was known to be a Jungkook and Lisa shipping fan site. So they post a lot of fanfic and made up romantic moments of Lisa and Jungkook. They're made up because there's no real public interaction between them other than eye contact or them saying hello at award shows. But the fan site was allegedly selling fanfic of Lisa and Jungkook, and then all the money goes into Lisa's birthday fund. I think this is such a great idea, and I don't see anything wrong with this actually. Apparently, Lisa's best friend, who will remain anonymous as well, ended up reposting and sharing the birthday fund publicly on her story and shared these dating moments of Lisa and Jungkook, either at a shop or kissing or whatever. This was in the fanfic, and essentially was accused of promoting this fanfic. This turned into a big deal because the fandoms are usually pretty divided over the idea of fanfic. They claim this is something that ruins the artist's reputation and is a bad thing. However, the idols themselves don't care. It was either Lisa's mother or Jennie's. She once held a sign that said Jen Lisa on it, the ship between Jennie and Lisa. And these ships are really big, like huge enough where you'd have to be a pretty clueless idol to not know that the fandom is saying this stuff about you. Like every time there's an interaction between Jennie and Lisa, it trends. Mind you, as I said, Lisa's mother or Jennie's mother acknowledged the ship. So this is probably something they have talked about. And at a fan sign, I believe one time a Blink asked Jennie and Lisa to sign a marriage certificate together, and they happily did. Now, Liskook, Lisa and Jungkook, is a much bigger ship than Jennie and Lisa, to the point where the ship ended up on mainstream TV, and many people who are new to the fandom actually do think the two are dating. And YG or HYBE has never come out and said anything because it's not anything that hurts the idols, and the idols themselves are not offended by this. People were so mad at Lisa's best friend for taking part in supporting the ship for the birthday funds, and honestly, it's so not a big deal. The funds are created to celebrate the artist and nothing more. Of course, Lisa's friend is going to want to support that fund. I don't know Lisa personally, even though she is one of my wives, but even I would like to support such a fund if I knew it existed at the time. If the fund was started or promoted by an account that supports Lisa and Jungkook dating, then so what? Lisa's friend either knows that Lisa and Jungkook are dating, or she knows that they're not. The ship account doesn't change that, and the ship account doesn't hurt Lisa or Jungkook. Some people act like the friend reposted an account that sends death threats to Lisa. This is one of those moments where you see that the fandom gets more upset over this than the actual artist does. Lisa is probably just happy to have Blinks support her in this way. Most of these artists are people with things to do and lots of things to do. So they're either not online as much as some of the people in the fandom are, or they don't obsess about people to the point where every little detail is being criticized. Like if they don't like someone, they move on because they don't have time to sit there and write a bad comment or whatever. Their free time is so limited. They just don't want to spend it watching or spreading negative energy. I personally don't engage or rarely engage in negative comments, and the reason why is because if you're committed to misunderstanding what I do or whatever, this is your problem. I'm pretty happy with my life, and my life doesn't revolve around what happens on YouTube. I have amazing dumplings. I have an amazing family as well. So I don't have time to sit there and spread negativity. I highly doubt someone as in demand as Lisa would do that or would care. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. I think it says a lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.